Nick fucking Gage. I represent the Murder That Kill Gang. You're watching Shooting the Shit. And if you're not watching Shooting the Shit, I'm probably in your house robbing you. So watch that shit or I'll rob your motherfucking house. MDK all fucking day.
Hey, this is Tommy Dreamer. Shut up. And you're listening to Shoot the Shit podcast. Enjoy it.
What's going on? Number one, you've never been in a tag team you didn't like. I can tell you that right now.
And when you're wrong, you're wrong. So it's just you're
right. That's true. But you guys prove that I'm wrong. You just tell me that I'm not looking at it the right way.
Well, last time I told you you were wrong, you called me a stupid bitch. So
yeah,
I mean,
because if you're
we're
taking
still
the
doing
view,
better than that.
If the view is when your head is directly up your own ass, you're not seeing the full picture.
Look, Samwise, I appreciate the fact that you're brave and still looking for the ring in Philly, but you can kiss my ass.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep rolling on to the rest of the show.
It's coughing there more than Sleepy Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are shooting shit, man. I mean, hell, it's been a hell of a week. A lot of good wrestling. We don't talk politics on this show, guys. We don't dive into that.
Probably shouldn't.
We probably shouldn't. I know that is a marquee thing that you don't touch. Really, don't you remember the last time you got hate mail? I think it was because of politics.
No, can you? Yeah, I mean, is it really hate mail if it's coming from your family? It's usually just like a postcard.
You know, the funny thing is,
yeah, it's not hate mail. It's just my family sending me a birthday card.
Told me I was a disappointment. Happy birthday!
It's more like hate crime mail. Like,
hate crime.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Hey, also, I hope you're doing well, but you do know you're the black sheep of the family, right?
Yeah, you worthless sack of shit. Happy birthday! Oh,
happy birthday! Thanks, Stay away, and you're not invited to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what to bring, nothing is great this year.
Yeah, you can take that honey baked ham and shove it up your fucking honey baked asshole.
Take your liberal honey baked ham and shove it up.
Oh, good God.
They're going to make Thanksgiving great again by uninviting Sean.
Dude, if I wasn't high 24 hours a day, I'd give a fuck.
That's a good way to be, man. I'm trying to get there. I got to wait for the weekend, so.
Well, the great thing is when you're a pothead and you're lucky enough to get a job that goes, yeah, we drug test, but we don't test for weed.
Nice.
Most companies aren't now. There's a big trend.
I know, but
not doing it now.
I know, but technically I could be making a lot more money with the CDL, but
right. I get you for sure.
It's like wrestlers back in the 90s. Yeah. We're gonna drug test you, but it's not for what you think. Cycle off by Friday, buddy. If you can.
No, I'm not worried about the testing for anything else because I don't do anything else.
No, Sean pulled a damn big Papa Pump on him. If you're gonna test me, you got to test Hunter too.
Yep.
He got out of here just like that.
He got the fucking pass for life.
Did you guys watch their A&E biography? I love how Rick looked that camera guy right in the face and goes, well, all I can say is I ain't never tested positive on a drug test. That's because I tested you motherfucker. Come on, man. You had 3 biceps. They were like on top of each other. It was like a fucking... Remember the old Bugs Bunny cartoon when the guy would flex and the muscle?
Yeah, that's exactly. Dude, 2000 Scott Steiner was literally a cartoon. He was a fucking cartoon.
He was a cartoon, yeah.
Dude.
Like,
I mean, so big, bro.
And today's Scott Steiner is pretty much Sean with the shirt off.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Holler if you hear me out there, shooters.
In his defense, I got to work awful hard to get there. So he's coming off 25 consecutive years of steroid abuse. So I mean,
that's cycling.
That ain't even muscle. It's like veal now. I mean, it's just like What do you remember? You were like Scott. You got to the point where you were like, Scott, you're either taking the wrong shit or you're just not paying attention because like your chest Dude, he's got like that Kofi Kingston. It's just disappeared. But his idea was, let's put a big fucking red and black heart cross tattoo right in the middle of it.
Bruh.
That gap right there.
And it's tattoos. Have you seen the tattoos on his arms where they're all kind of strategically placed so it looks like they're shadows? It's just
Tell us more about your arm tattoo, Sean.
Come on. Come on. Scott Steiner, Hammerstone. Our boy, we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. I was watching MJF wrestle last night, and it's a lot.
Think he's on the juice?
That's a lot of back acne. No wonder he fucking does spray tans. I'm just saying.
Damn.
Dude, I mean, seriously,
man.
Dude, it's
a whole hour.
Dude, if you're a grown ass man and you have back acne, there's only one reason for that.
This is Steroid Talk with the Wolf. Brought that one back. That was an old school one.
That's a pretty good one, man.
Yeah.
I did get my
Anybody else out there in Shooterland was waiting for a blue chew? I was. He pulls out a packet. That's right here.
That's straight testosterone. That's straight testosterone, boys, right there.
Goes straight to the sack.
Oh my god.
It's my fucking allergy medicine, man. All that does is stop my nose from running in the summer.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Sean's really on the juice. Like, he just doesn't want to.
Did you go look at the shows from like 2 or 3 months ago? How fucking I was still kind of heavy then, and I thought I was looking good. And then I go back and look at them, and I'm like, man, I've been losing weight for this is taking fucking forever. I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to get right. I'm going to get right where I want to be.
Those allergies.
How I feel good, and some 25, 26-year-old beautiful girl's going to walk up and say, I'm independently wealthy and I have daddy issues. Will you run away with me? And then just as I'm about to say yes and all my dreams come true, fellatio that actually feels good, a tight badge, and just a good time for the rest of my life. I'll drop dead of an aneurysm right there on the fucking sidewalk. That's what's going to happen.
Well, you get that stuff from Mexico, it'll do it to you.
Yeah, the Mexican allergy medicine.
Why does this say Mariqua Veterinary Clinic? What is that? How you pronounce that, Joe?
Yeah,
like what? 1/17 fucking Spanish.
I am actually Puerto Rican. I am Boricua. So yeah, it actually was a contentious spot with my family because if you believed my father, he actually thought I was Samoan, which would mean he wasn't my father.
He was really good, man.
Yeah, I took a 32andMe when I was already well into my 30s, and I called him up, and I'm like, "Guess what, bitch? It's a boy."
I keep waiting to see you on SmackDown as part of the bloodline, that long lost fucking Fatu they've been looking for all this. Come on, Noose.
I wish those fuckers could fucking cut weight like a motherfucker. Look at Jacob. Jacob's fucking fit as a motherfucker.
Dude, and did you see they're bringing Zila up? I guess he's coming up too.
He's coming up. He's gonna be
his stuff on YouTube, bro.
He's gonna be at a GCW show the night of or the day. I guess they said they're gonna run it on the day or the night. I can't remember. But on SummerSlam weekend, I'm going. No, it's Friday. It's competing with SmackDown. But I'm gonna go to GCW to see Zilla. And I also got tickets to see Sami Zayn's comedy show, so that's gonna be fucking fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's literally like 2 buildings away from the fucking GCW event.
So. All right, man. Let's get going on this shit. I got to grovel about 2 things I got to ask apologies for.
Oh well, we've been recording, but let's get the opener going. 3, 2, 1. Hey, we're here. Sean, do we want to start with you groveling?
Come on, dude. No, fuck. Not if you're gonna fuck you. Not if you're gonna bring it like that. Hell no, dude. You're just like fucking enjoying my pain. Kiss my ass, bro.
I would, but I heard it's pimply. So we'll start with something else, and we'll.
My ass is smooth.
I didn't want to know that, Joe. Didn't want to know.
I fucking hate it here.
Hey, bro, I wore your T-shirt to the gym yesterday. Just so you know.
Which
The
shirt?
one that says I fucking hate it here. I wore it to the gym just. I'm over a fucking working out, and this dude walks by and he walks back and turns back and he looks at the fucking shirt and he starts laughing and he goes, "That's funny, Joe." I was like, "Joe?" He goes, "Yeah, Joe." And I was like, "No, not Joe." It's like, I don't even say Joe. Who you calling Joe? And he goes, "That's what it says on your shirt." It was Jordan, man. It was a Jordan. Fuck off. Go away.
If you want the official I hate it here Joe t-shirt, buy our other shirt and we'll make some fucking designs, guys. Thank you.
It's a Jordan tank top, man. I mean, I feel like it's a collectible. I should have him sign it so I can frame it and put it up in the studio.
That's the same thing I wanted to do to Isaac's original Shootin' Shit shirt with Isaac.
We should have done that. Yeah.
I need that white
tee.
Like
yeah, I mean,
I will own it.
I will own it.
Put it next to my fucking Brody King fucking full on display that's happening. But
all right, man,
we don't want to start with you kissing ass, you said, but you
do
want
I'll
to kiss ass
accordingly, man. First off, I'm apologizing and admitting I was wrong about something. I'm not kissing nobody's ass, and if I was
what were you wrong about?
Can we just start the fucking show?
It's been started, dude. Get on with it, Junior. Fuck, man.
He doesn't want to start.
15 minutes of rambling. Just spit it the fuck out. Good Lord.
Grab the set and go. The suspense is killing me.
Give your fucking balls a tug, kid. Let's go.
They're noticeably smaller now.
I mean, you want to talk about the fucking Ospreay fucking MJF match, right? That's why I had to watch that bullshit tonight.
I mean, it may have been one of the best matches that AEW has put on in a long time, and they did it for free.
I am going to agree with you, and I am also going to say that after watching that match with Ospreay, I feel like it's fair to say that if we're going to talk about anybody that's considered like nationally, worldwide, one of the top performers in the world, Ospreay falls into that category, much like Daniel Bryan did at one time. And, you know, these other guys that were overseas that were just killing it and just dominated. MJF that match last night showed me a lot more than I've seen out of him. I mean, to go an hour with Ospreay and dude, I mean, it was a good fucking match. I don't know how you wouldn't be entertained by that, you know. But just his work. Now, I'm assuming they flipped him back, you know, to do this shit because Ospreay came and he's got to be the face because nobody's going to buy him as a heel here or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a pretty quick character change to go from I'm going to go do this new thing, and I'm sure he was excited about it, to now I'm back to, you know, wearing suits that don't fit and a fucking ring that turns my finger green. But the fact of the matter is, dude, that match, if he can have a shot, if he can have a match like that with Ospreay, he can work with anybody in the WWF or WWE. So you were right. I see what you were saying about that, and I have to agree with you on that. I really do. So, I mean, I still feel like he's undersized, and I still feel like he won't be. They're going to try to mold him into what they want him to be there. You know that's what they're going to do. But I can't sit here and honestly make the argument that him being 5'8" is going to be a problem because that's just not true. I just don't think it's true. I mean, dude, there was a couple spots there where he did that buckle bump and then faked the knee injury.
Yep.
You know, school boys him and then drops him on his head and that fucking snap pile driver, bro. I mean, some of those, he took some big bumps in that match too. So yeah, man,
They both took big bumps.
The Wolf's going to shut his mouth when it comes to MJF. I was wrong. I can admit that.
Now, Joe, we've gotten a abrupt face turn from the Silver Wolf regarding MJF. You said in our chat that you were not entertained by the hour-long match, man. What? I got to know why.
Were you not entertained by it, or you just didn't give a shit? And then I mean that, and I'm not being a smart ass. Like it's a legit question. Like, did you not give a fuck? So when you watched it, it was like, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna explain
That's an
my
honest
answer.
question. Yeah,
The match itself was phenomenal. It was great. What sucked and why I'm not entertained about it is because for a random Wednesday night in July for less than 800,000 viewers,
Yeah.
you put on an hour-long, like probably top 5 matches in AEW history
probably.
for
Yeah.
essentially nobody, and follow it up with absolute just shit. So it's great as much as I love the match, and yes, you know that's what we were saying about MJF. Like he can work. He works his style, and like this is the real comparison, in my opinion, to Ric Flair. He works his style and makes it work against anybody else.
You're absolutely 100% right, and I thought that during the match.
Mm-hmm. I know everybody talks about the promos and his speaking and all that shit. I get it, but that's the real that's what Flair was great with, because he just went and had a match against arguably the best wrestler on any roster currently, right?
I would agree with that.
I mean, you got Danielson, you got
Seth.
You know, it's just a handful of guys at best,
Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, so you have to have an argument that Ospreay is the best of them right now, right? And that could change tomorrow, but still. And MJF.
Well, nobody's talking about Kenny Omega right now.
Well, it's because
he's fucking hurt, buddy.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, like, usually when he's gone, all they ever talk about is when Kenny comes back.
Well, I think that's on purpose though, because God only knows when he's coming back, if he does, because he sacrificed a whole fucking lot for some of these runs.
No, yeah,
and he's paying for it right now. But I think that's by purpose. There's no sense in really putting Kenny's name out there and really pushing him.
This vibe.
Yeah, let him just be off in the distance and heal up and whatever. But I thoroughly appalled. I almost called the police because I had to report a fucking crime against my fucking senses and better judgment. And I kept AEW on after the match with the fucking elite promo with fucking Mercedes, Sasha Banks. That was the most steaming pile of fucking dog shit. I was like, how the fuck do you follow up one of your all-time classic matches in your stupid fucking company? You bury it on a fucking middle of the month, July, Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
It was episode 250, a big deal apparently.
Episode 250. And he probably thought he was catching a break because it's All-Star Week, so there's really no fucking major U.S. sports happening at this time. And they still couldn't get 800,000 viewers for that match.
Yeah.
That should tell you so much about that fucking company. No, I wasn't entertained by the show. The match I thought was just fantastic. And I don't want to call it entertaining. It was just a really, really, really great fucking match.
Yeah.
They made it work. some of the shit that they did, the spots, a little like, the fucking edge of the ring, those edge of the ring spots really fucking get me, man.
Yeah, they get a little much.
That shit can go real bad, real fucking fast, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It did like when he was rolling around there holding his shoulder, they did show like that one that came back. He was getting his shoulder like pop back into place. I don't know if that was a work or not, but it looked swollen. And when it closed up on him, you could tell like there was something wrong. So I don't know if he.
I'm sure there's something wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looked like legitimate. Like it was like, I don't know what the injury was, but there was definitely something wrong with the shoulder.
And that leads me back to why I can't be entertained by AEW.
Right.
Because, yes, I know. And people are, oh, well, the WWE's got their injury bug and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I understand that. But you feel like you're watching these guys just push and push and push and push.
Yeah.
You know, like it just gives you that impression that you're closer to seeing somebody die in the ring in AEW than you are in WWE.
Oh, for sure.
And that's just because the AEW style, it's conducive to injuries.
Yeah.
WWE, for the most part, it's safe. Injuries happen still, but you feel like AEW style purposefully is going to cause an accident.
Yeah, I feel like WWE, it's not so much that it's safe, it's that the injuries that you see are more of the wear and tear variety. The schedule's tough. It's long, even though it's not as we're not talking like late 80s, early 90s.
No, it ain't shit compared to what
330 days a year on the road, but it's not like that anymore. But it's still tough. It's still a grind. It's still a lot of wear because now it's mainstream. Now they're doing fucking media events and all kinds of fucking charity works and all this stuff. Not to mention they're wrestling on a fucking they're wrestling on a house show on a what's the schedule?
Saturday, Sunday.
No, well, Friday got SmackDown. Saturday, Sunday house shows. Monday is Raw.
Yeah.
We're basically working Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Or long weekend.
Or Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday if you do Raw instead of SmackDown.
Yeah.
They only really get off NXT and travel days.
Yeah, but it's a shame because I feel like there's a lot of great matches that do happen in AEW. And they're just buried on like shitty fucking random shows that can't even crack 1 million viewers. And I know viewership is not the most important thing, but it kind of is to keep your fucking business deal, to keep that deal of keeping you on TV.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been saying that for a couple of years now that, we don't watch AEW for the storylines because there are none. We don't watch. I mean, we watch for the matches. I mean, that's usually the only reason why I will turn it on is if I get wind of a good match that I think is going to be entertaining, then I'll watch it. Or, every once in a while you'll figure, we'll hear that somebody's going to come back that maybe I want to see. But for the most part, I mean, it's just night and day. I mean, I feel like they're not even in the top 3 in shows that I'm currently keeping an eye on as far as that goes. I mean, I thought TNA would drop off after Scott D'Amore was let go. It hasn't, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's the infrastructure that he had there that got left behind when he left that's still doing what he was doing. And if that's the case, that's great. Feel bad for the man. I feel like he got fucked and he should have been screwed out of his job. But TNA still, in my opinion, still, steadily gaining ground, man. I mean,
I am so pumped for Slammiversary this weekend. And we're not doing a review of Slammiversary, none of that bullshit.
Hell, I don't even know what the card is, but I'll watch it because it's TNA.
And that's the issue, dude.
Yeah.
TNA's in the Slammiversary is always their marquee show. The big one, people come back, old school TNA folks come back. But now you have the NXT twist. And that's just taking the show to a whole nother level, man. And I mean, we've got the original Rascals. The original Rascals have a match.
I was going to say, if I can, I don't want to. I've been trying not to jump in without and cut you guys off like I've been doing, but it was cool to see the Rascals in there, man. I mean, and I feel like it's But here's my issue. We've brought back the kid from the Rascals, which I don't feel like he should have been suspended anyway or let go. I'm not saying that the guy didn't fuck up, but we don't there as far as I know, there was no proof. It was more of a he said, she said in the indie world where this girl's at a lot. It's kind of I don't know. I don't know what happened, but the guy shouldn't have been let go when there wasn't enough proof. Fuck, you kept Enzo for a long time, and you fucked up when you let him go because he didn't do anything wrong either. But you brought him back. You brought back a couple other people that screwed up and everything. You got Natty and her sister with their OnlyFans, and yet Mandy Rose still isn't wrestling in the WWE and was stripped of her titles because she had that little website deal going on. So, I mean, if Hunter can bring an accused girlfriend, beat her back, I think it's time we offer Mandy Rose a chance to come back so I can watch her wrestle.
You can watch her wrestle. It's only $8 a month. I believe she'll give you a free month too.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't pay for other people's pussy. I'm good.
Let me hear OPP. Anyway, Joey, that is the question of the night. Are you down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
There you go. Hit him, Sean. Give him an OVO. OVO. Anyway.
All
right. Dude, I don't know. TNA, there's something there. For some reason, it's wanting to be fantastic. Even the overly comedically used Joe Hendry on NXT was fucking great. I don't know. It feels like the TNA's coming up, and I like it.
I gotta be honest, shit's annoying the shit out of me. I just don't get the Joe Hendry thing, but that's just me.
Oh, well, that's because you don't live in London, Paris, or Tokyo.
Yeah.
They love Joe Hendry there. It's America, Scotland, Canada, and Mexico.
Man, he's just honky tonk man with better theme music and an accent, man.
That's fucking harsh. God damn. Oof. Maybe we're just dumb enough nowadays for it to be better than Honky Tonk Man.
Got a little honky, man. Well, wrong side burns.
Actually, I think the Honky Tonk Man canceled the appearance at the fucking Cleveland location at the Cleveland thing for SummerSlam. So that was a bummer. I was gonna get a photo for you guys
of the Honky Tonk.
The Honky Tonk Man, yeah. Legend are those sideburns are real.
Oh, they are, dude. Those are real. Yeah, those are real.
We talked about Flair with MJF and how they work their style, man. We're gonna go back and we're taking it old school real quick. Joey, can you give me a little stirring shit question of the day?
Yeah. Oh, he's wanting me to do it live right now.
Just do the live voice, yeah, dude.
Just do the live voice, man. Come on.
What did I say?
Just give me now. It's time for the stirring shit question of the day.
For the stirring shit Facebook question of the week.
There you go.
Yeah, come on, man.
And now it's time for the stirring shit Facebook question of the week.
Thank you, Joe. Question of the week comes from the Big Red Machine himself.
I got
Mr.
chills,
Jerry Hayne.
I got chills. I got a goose pimply, Joe. You sexy motherfucker.
Is that a flashlight in your pocket, or you just have
to check the seat?
Jerry wanted to know. He listened to last week's show. He commented on the actual show link that was set up on the Facebook group page.
Dude, all he had to do was have surgery and get 2 weeks off so he could finally watch a fucking episode of our show.
Get well soon, Jerry. We love you. Don't let Sean
buddy.
talk shit to you.
No, I know he watches. Jerry watches. I love that dude.
But Jerry took a little bit of a side, question about us saying that John Cena, not us, well, really one of us, saying that John Cena didn't deserve to get number 17 to beat Ric Flair's title runs, championships there. And Jerry wanted to know what made Flair's runs so epic and that he was so deserving of those 16 runs. And basically, just where we stand on Flair in general probably would be great.
Well, Joe, you want to go first? You want me to go?
To my understanding, it was the draw. He drew in a lot of fucking money, and whatever town, because he was, he was living the gimmick. Everybody knows that, the fucking hotels, all the bullshit afterwards, and he had that fucking heat that people would sell out an arena to see somebody whoop his ass and take that title off of him. And that's really the biggest thing. And every time they turned around and took it off Flair and put it on somebody else, shit just didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
Well, that's 'cause
You know, that's really it. He was the biggest draw, across all the territories. The best, and let's be honest, the best on the mic, as far as
best in ring at that time, best in ring worker that time, like you said earlier, his style. And go ahead,
yeah, he could work with anyone. So he was the easy answer to when you're in doubt. When you do a title change, you put the title on somebody new. You're not drawing those shows. You're not drawing those houses. A lot of guys have that Hangman Page syndrome where, you're much better. You're much, much better when you're chasing the title. But as a champ, what are you going to do? It's the Sami Zayn effect. As the champ, what do? He's a better underdog. That's his character. He's naturally like that. And a lot of these guys turn out that way. You start losing money. It's like, no, we got to have a meeting. We're putting the title back on Flair. We got to draw these fucking fans back in. That's it. That's a business move.
Let me tell you where I love that. I love that for multiple reasons here. But I think you really hit it on the head. Flair's 16-time championships really is the result of them not being able to find somebody else to be champ. And it hurts because they did it to one of the Von Erichs. Let him beat Flair for the title, the big feel-good match, but then turn around again. Flair gets the title back. I know, but that's how it's feeling, because now that Joe said that, that's how I'm starting to think is like, well, shit, anybody who didn't get a real good run with that belt, you were just having that belt on layaway, buddy. They wanted to see if you would make the belt look good for however long you had it, then you're dropping it to Flair. Or if it's going to be a good, one-day buyout, this is going to be a big gate. We need to get that gate, but we're going to give your fans something to do, something to talk about. That way, if we come back through here, we're going to get a good turnout. We're going to have your guy take our belt for the day, 2 days. Rick will get it back. But we want to establish this part as something that we're going to come back to, but we're going to let your guy go over. But eventually, they're going to have to do the job back. And I think that's what it was. It was just the business, and it didn't hurt that Flair worked his style. He was next level shit talker in the era of not really good talkers. The guys looked like monsters. They were just buffed to the gills, but it was the age of managers because they had that football syndrome. You look like Tarzan and talk like that sumbitch too.
Yeah.
So Flair wasn't the biggest, but he was good at what he did. And when he got on the mic, he'd make you feel like you're 2 feet tall. Go ahead, Sean.
So I mean, we're talking about Flair, right?
Talking Flair.
So not, and I know I feel like I'm always this guy, and I'm not trying to be. Flair, hands down, the greatest of his era, like what we say in mid to late 70s into late 80s, right?
Yeah.
He started falling off in the 90s when they were doing less and less and less with him.
Yeah.
during that time period, I don't think that there was, I think he was the Muhammad Ali of professional wrestling at that point. He was the biggest draw. He was nationally known. And the only territory he didn't work was New York, because at that time it was Vince Senior's. Flair was the guy that made everybody look like a monster. I mean, there was that one stretch, I can't remember, right before the Great American Bash, where he was wrestling every night for a 2-week time period. He was putting the belt up every single night for 2 weeks. And I remember watching the VHS tapes. And this was guys, I mean, he wrestled Hawk one-on-one. And dude, to pull off a one-on-one, I mean, Hawk was good as a tag team wrestler. He did okay in a singles match against Flair, but that match don't work without Flair. Right? I feel like he's a product of his own environment. He built himself up to the biggest draw that he could possibly be. And then it just got to the point where they were always chasing numbers, because he would work with younger guys and bring them up. Sting, Sam Houston, a couple other guys that were like nobodies, nothings, that he elevated. Just when I'm going to work with you, and he elevated them up. The difference was some of them still had a career, whereas where Hogan, when he did it, you were done. Like when Hogan was done, when his run with you was done, you were done. You were done.
So can I cut you here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I've got a good question, and I want you guys to think about this and hear me out. Hear it all out. Hear it all out. He was a multiple time champion, right? He
Mm-hmm.
worked with the younger guys, didn't necessarily bury them, but he did work with them, elevated a lot of them. He worked his style, his brand of wrestling, his brand of marketing. He was highly marketable, worked everywhere, transcended the sport, and his name is John Cena. Everything that you said for Ric Flair, damn near point for point, can be said about John Cena. Even more so, in my opinion, because there are no boundaries holding John Cena from different territories. He was Mr. Worldwide.
Well, I mean, he was Mr. WWE Worldwide.
He
Okay,
was
let's not,
WWE Worldwide.
so
But it's not like
that's big fish, not a very big pond compared to
uh,
having
it's
to
not like
wrestle every other independent promotion, every other wrestling facility, New Japan, and all that shit like some of these guys do. That's WWE is an entity unto itself, man, and we know that. But go ahead, finish.
but that's the thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you said about Flair, it's John Cena.
Okay.
His moveset, he's very safe. Anything you hear about Cena's safe. Cena will take care of you. Cena knows how to make it look good. His longevity, Cena was hardly ever hurt. All right. And when he did get hurt, it was fluky shit.
Yeah.
And he worked a lot.
No. Okay.
And he's still, like, I think, top rated guy for fucking Make a Wish. So he's doing the charity work.
No.
He's building that brand. He's selling the merch.
Dude, he's a great ambassador. Okay, so can I get to apology number 2 now?
Hit apology number 2.
All right. I think my only issue, like everything that you just said, is true. I went, watched some of John's stuff. I even went, like, the ladder match with Edge. Was it in Toronto, I think?
Yeah.
Right, where he put him through the 2 tables. Some of his promos, his mic work. He definitely had a Cena style match, whereas Flair could work with other people and make everybody look good. I feel like John was the same way. Now, there were a couple times where he was kind of outmatched when these guys are faster than him and shit that he was struggling to keep up with, but he never stopped. He always worked. He got better. I feel like, yes, I mean, you can't argue the fact that he's one of the biggest stars of that era that he was in. Now, saying all that, I don't agree that he could go into any other. I don't think he would have made it in the Attitude Era. I think guys like Steve Austin and Triple H would eat him the fuck up on the mic. Because he wouldn't be doing that hip hop clever rap shit with Steve Austin, because Steve would gut him. So I don't necessarily, I'm not saying that he couldn't adapt. I think he could, because I feel like that's John, right? His career was almost over before he figured out thugonomics, and that's what saved him. And that turned into what he ended up being. I don't feel like he would have been 16-time champ if there were more people around. They had a huge roster. They fed a lot of people to him. I can't compare him to Rick in the sense of Rick wrestled the best wrestler in every town every night that he walked into. And that wasn't necessarily the case for John. He wrestled the guys that he wrestled numerous times over and over and over again in the same locker room. So, but yeah, I mean, deserved his titles, carried the company. Everything you said is true. I'm wrong. I can admit that. But the only thing I disagree with, we talked about last week, that Golden Era, yeah, he probably would have got over like a son of a bitch, because they'd have ate that hustle, loyalty, and respect shit up. I mean, they bought train, say your prayers, and eat your fucking vitamins like it was chocolate. So it wouldn't surprise me that John would succeed there. I think the only time he would struggle, and he would struggle but figure it out, would be the Attitude Era, because everybody at that point, dude, it was like the whole wrestling industry went, say whatever the fuck you want, and they took the cork out. And those guys went back. John Cena against 97, 96 Rock, 97, 96 HBK, or 95 HBK on the mic. I'm just saying.
Cena would have destroyed him. That's the problem.
I don't think he would have.
Cena would have run the Attitude Era, and not a single fucking person would have been on his level. Yeah.
You're talking Taker.
I know exactly who I'm talking about.
Austin,
I know exactly who I'm talking about.
The
and every
Rock,
fucking one of them.
That's like three of those guys are on most of everybody's fucking Mount Rushmore.
First of all, Taker is a garbage promo. It is what it is.
Well,
He's
yeah,
not.
but
He's
still
on the mic. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Because guess what? Taker was there for Cena. So let's call this what it is.
They can put him over for sure. I agree with that.
You're taking one aspect of John Cena and saying he wouldn't succeed in the Attitude Era. I don't give a fuck about
what I said.
No, listen. I don't give a fuck about your kid-friendly shit.
I love how you just fucking shit on me like I'm an asshole.
I listened to you talk for 5 fucking minutes. Shut your fucking face and let me speak now. It's all this fucking hustle, loyalty, respect, little kid John Cena shit. That's not who's in the Attitude Era. You know who's in the Attitude Era? The guy that went face to face with the fucking Rock and destroyed the Rock in the ring. When, let's be real, the Rock was at a much larger version of his popularity at that point than anything. Then that's the fucking truth. That's the Cena we would have gotten in the Attitude Era. The Cena that went out there and talked shit and made it real. Because let's be clear, nobody, and I mean nobody, speaks as well, intelligent, clear, thought out as John Cena in a WWE ring. Not a single person in this fucking business, in my opinion, can touch Cena when he is just being himself. And that's, dude, you can say what you want. You can put up any great talker in the history of wrestling business. When Cena is just Cena, like he was with Dwayne, he fucking would destroy anyone. You line him up and knock him down. From your Ric Flairs to your Dusty Rhodes to your fucking Shawn Michaels to your Triple H to your fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, and yes, The Rock, who he's already showed. far fucking superior. But we can't ever tell that. You're never going to know. What I do know is this. The insulated world of WWE has provided plenty of talent for Cena. And in his title runs, you got to think about wrestlers like Randy Orton, CM Punk, Triple H. You know, there are so many top Shawn Michaels,
Edge, Undertaker.
Undertaker,
Edge, man, yeah, and his
all the way up through Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he had a great run, dude. I'm not
right. I'm just saying the caliber of talent, whether it's an isolated entity or not,
yeah,
you can't deny that, because any single person who I just named, which some of them have, once they're out of WWE, they are the hottest free agents available because of their level. And I mean, I get, because you're not traveling the world, but let's be honest, Ric Flair going to fucking, Butte, Montana to fight fucking Jimmy Bob Jones for the fucking NWA title, at the fucking Moose Lodge. Like, let's be clear, Flair's not out there, and some of it, and a lot of
he's not, but he was doing it an hour a night, every night. You can't say that about John.
Yeah, but that's a different time though, too. And honestly, I
fully
wholeheartedly believe,
times, man, you can't pick and choose what we're going to throw in the mix.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like, I have no doubt in my mind that Cena can go an hour.
Yeah,
and the man's fucking work ethic, because he was there. Dude, working that schedule before it reduced, the schedule that cost guys like Eddie Guerrero their life.
Right.
So let's be clear. Like, Cena was running that type of schedule too. Maybe not exactly to the max, but he was still in the fucking red with it.
Well, I mean, dude, if you're the WWE champ, you're fucking running nonstop all day, every day anyway. It ain't just the in-ring stuff. And as Joe Vaughn said, at this point, he's got like, 600 Make-A-Wish things or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to meet John Cena now, you need to adopt a child and get them sick, and you get to see John Cena.
It's one of those things where, like, I truly think that Cena, he'd thrive in any era, but the Attitude Era.
I'm going to give you this, and because, like I said, I felt like after last week, I was kind of talking out my ass a little bit, and I still feel like, I feel about certain things when it comes to him, but I feel like he's going to kind of be like Kobe for me. I spent so much of Kobe's career. Yeah, I spent so much of Kobe's career completely respecting his game, but not enjoying it because he was just a fucking Jordan clone, which is the biggest fucking compliment I think you could give the man, because when you learn about his work ethic and everything, how he fucking was, he lived, his whole mindset was, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to work the hardest. If you can't work when I work, then you ain't on my, then I ain't passing you the ball. If you ain't working as hard as I'm working, why would I pass you the fucking ball? That kind of guy. I feel like when this is all over and said and done, I'm going to look back on it like that. Like, yeah, I think it was, you got to respect that guy and what he did, and I do. I respect the shit. I love John. John was always entertaining. I loved the Dr. Thugonomics. I loved his feud with my favorite feud of his was him and Edge. I just thought that shit was, when they went and fucking kicked his dad's door in and fucking beat him up, and his dad was just like going all fucking buck because he was just like so overacting. It was hilarious. I love that shit.
Nice. Good. Hopefully, Big Red, somewhere in all of the fighting that we've gotten done, we kind of gave you a little idea of how we stand on the matter, man. But
like we need an excuse to argue. Thanks, buddy.
I think it's closer than a lot of people want to admit, John, to Ric Flair, and it's not people. And then this is shit, not to talk about shit that we've talked about off camera, but it's like we said last week. It's when you reminisce on something and you look back on it fondly. You may have those rose-colored glasses on, and we do that with wrestlers' careers, man. You know,
Yeah, we do.
who knows? Couple of years from now, when AEW's under and everybody's in the WWE, and we've got it on Netflix and fucking whatever else streaming service pops up out of their asses, we'll be looking back saying, "Fuck, you know who was really good? Fucking John Cena."
John Cena.
Well, I had that moment at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I did, because it's like, he's not there, and it's just going to be one of those last runs, and here we are a few months post WrestleMania, and he announces this is it. This is the farewell fucking tour.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool too that he's like, I don't want to be a part-time guy, and if I can't be a full-time guy, then I'm done. And I mean, no, he's cashing out, man. They're gonna make a fucking shit ton of money on this.
I make a fucking ton of
I
it.
do appreciate him being very clear, though.
Yeah.
That once he's done, he's done.
Yeah.
Done.
I feel like he's gonna be like Shawn. He's going to stick to it. I mean, it took $3 million to get Shawn Michaels and to come off the fucking bench and wrestle in that fucking match and wherever.
Should have done it.
Yeah. Saudi. And, I think he only did that because it was a tag team match with, Kane, Taker, and Triple H. He just figured this will be a walk in the park and we'll be in the back in 20 minutes and everybody will be fine.
Yeah.
But
it was
next thing you know, Hunter fucking gets hurt. Kane literally forgot how to fucking wrestle.
Yeah. Taker was concussed and Shawn broke his nose, and the guy that had been in the ring the least amount was the best performer in the fucking.
And Shawn still tore the fucking house down, just basically doing it himself.
I think Shawn's just that's what Randy Orton's going to be like.
Yeah.
It don't matter how old Randy is or how long he's away. When he gets back in the ring, if he steps back in, he's just naturally that way. And I think Shawn was always probably one of the most naturally gifted performers I ever seen.
And we're surprised that NXT made a bounce back from the fucking Nickelodeon colors.
Dude, they got a good product going down. Oh yeah, I got
they are cooking. What happened?
No. I wanted to talk about Braun Breaker too.
Hit it.
You got a couple minutes. Let's go.
I don't know if this kid's going to be the biggest star. There's definitely a lot of upside to him. Definitely. I kind of feel you got to remember, one, he's a Steiner. Two, I don't know that there's, that little bit of an edge that he has. I don't know that that's fake. I feel like he's a lot more like his uncle and his dad than people want to admit. And everybody can admit those guys were fucking assholes back in the day. Badass son of bitches, which is why they got away with it. But assholes nonetheless. He reminds me of young Randy. I feel like he's going to, they might put a strap on him.
It's happening at SummerSlam, yeah.
They might put a strap on him, but we're going to, if he can handle the pressure, and not get in trouble, carries himself like a champion, then that's pretty much the last test. I mean, you're at the top of the food chain now, buddy. So, but I watched him and I went back and pulled up some NXT matches this week. Obviously, you guys, I ain't doing shit but watching wrestling all week. And
I love it.
He reminds me a lot of Rick, dog face, gremlin Rick, that. But man, that kid is fucking unbelievably fast for a guy his size.
Yeah.
Just the speed and the power that and how you can make it look that fierce and not hurt somebody.
He's
not Goldberg, man. I mean, the kid can go. He's definitely polished and ready. You're 100% right.
He's the best
all the world. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think the same thing. Like, watching him work, like, makes you feel like, Rick before, when he was still singles, before Scott was around.
Yeah, right? Back when he was in the Varsity Club, man, and he used to just throw people across the ring and just
But the thing about Braun though is he's got the and this is the hang up on Rick. Great fucking wrestler. Love watching him work.
Yeah.
But all the charisma went to Scott.
Oh, for sure.
And Braun, and that's not a fucking knock on Rick, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And Braun has all that too. So he's got the fucking style like his father, the charisma of his uncle. And if I read this to be true, supposedly his like mentors in the WWE are Roman, CM Punk, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could figure out a better fucking trio of people to go, hey, they might want to do this for me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think? How should I approach it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you could compile a better list that's currently there for that.
No.
Maybe
all you had to say was Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I mean the fact any young up and comer that's like, oh yeah, I'm a Paul Heyman guy or I'm a Paul Heyman girl, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're talking to the right people.
Yeah, for sure.
That did come out.
Maybe not the best businessman, but the goddamn mind for the wrestling business that he has, I don't know.
It's fucked.
And I'm just gonna say this because I listened to this long fucking 3-hour podcast where he was interviewed. He's actually a very, very successful businessman outside of WWE. We give him shit because ECW failed, and he said in that podcast, if I had the money then that I have now, ECW wouldn't have failed. I mortgaged everything to keep that place going.
Yeah.
TV killed ECW.
He said, I wasn't a bad businessman. I was fighting for survival in a company that I believed in so much that I was just doing everything I could to hang on. So we got a national television deal, because if we'd have got a national television deal, we would have survived. Now, we don't know that, for sure, but they damn sure wouldn't have closed when they did.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't, we joke about him being a bad businessman, but the guy's companies and a modeling agency, and he's making
he's got his hands in a lot.
A lot of pockets.
If it weren't for that damn WCW lawsuit and like in the 90s that no one can still talk about to this day. But at the same time, we do joke about it, but outside he's got a lot of business ventures that are very successful and he's very well off for himself. But but that pales in comparison, in my opinion, to his fucking creative mind for professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And if you really want to talk about it, the biggest testament to him is how he's changed with times.
Yeah.
So we went from the 90s, early 90s, like of the WCW style.
Yeah, the mullet and the double-breasted suit.
To the later 90s of the ECW and
grunge.
Basically, that's the biggest thing. Like, if you look back, he fucking changes with the times. He is a student of fucking pop culture, the fucking, the zeitgeist here.
He knows what works.
He knows what works. He knows what's going to hit. All the way up to 2023, 24. I mean, it's obviously years before this too, because this bloodline story has been going on for years.
Yeah.
But he is one of the driving catalysts that has made this story interesting for the years it's been running, and is now, in my opinion, at a point where, think about what they've done. They're back to fucking what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Right.
When's Roman coming back? When's The Rock coming back? When's Jimmy coming back? Is Jay going to side up with him? Maybe Sammy? There's so many things in this bloodline storyline.
When's the Civil War happening? Who else is coming up?
Oh my God. He is such a driving force behind all that. Is a testament to changing time. So my point is, Braun Breaker seeks that man for advice and looks to him for, hey, how should I handle this in my career? Right. And not to mention, a CM Punk, because that's a guy who has the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And has done shit his way. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, it doesn't matter. He's done shit his way, for better or for worse. It's his career. And he's a guy that can guide you on that. I'd put him on level with a guy like Randy who could tell you, hey, kid, let me tell you how fucking that fame can go to your head in the beginning. And it takes you a while to get fucking back out of that and get your shit together and fucking, say, okay, I'm going to really put myself into this. Like, I would put him on that level. And of course, Roman, who's basically for almost a decade now been the major star of the company, whether he was fed to us or not. But let's be honest, he's been a top draw. He's had the longest modern championship run in history.
I love the trajectory of his career in this sense. He was the muscle for the Shield, and we all loved the Shield. Mm-hmm. Even when they were the heels, and Cena was getting his ass kicked by him, we were supposed to be rooting for Cena. Yeah, Mm-hmm. Then he's the big dog, and he has this run, and for a little while there, everybody was buying into it. And then we asked for that heel turn for a year and a half, maybe 2 years before it happened. And when it did, he kind of took the attitude that The Rock took, in the sense of, all right, well, I'm going to see what I can do. But, and with Paul Heyman guiding him, dude,
it's great.
For me, the upper echelon guys are like, and we're talking draw. Okay. I'm talking like big draws. You can talk about Austin, but then you got to counter that with the fact that, his run was
2 years, maybe.
That window was small. Was he smoking red hot, biggest draw in the company, and still selling merchandise to this day? Yes, we all love Steve. He was one of the best. His era was the best. No Triple H, Steve, even The Rock, because he left and hasn't been. Nobody's been on a run like this. Is on Bruno. This is like on par with Bruno.
Roman's God mode when he was champion, lasted longer than a lot of key guys. Flash in the pan, rocket to the moon, where they were on top of the world. Roman sustained that with that heel turn.
We went from mania to mania. Mm-hmm. And for an entire year, all we talked about was he going to wrestle Cody again at Mania, or is he going to, and then we get right back to the same goddamn match we had the year before. Yep. And we still all went blubbery and ape shit when Cody won. And now with the storyline that they got going on, and then putting Paul through the table and shit,
and there are no titles in the story at all. Head of the table, fucking tribal chief is all they're fighting for.
Dude, if you don't know how good Paul Heyman is, manager, talker, hands down, yep, I'll give it to you. All time, there's like him and Bobby Heenan's like down here. It's like him and Bobby, and there's space between him and Bobby, and I love Bobby Heenan. Go back and watch that little interaction he had with Punk on SmackDown, the beginning of that show.
Take me with you.
Take me with you.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he did not sleep. They said he did not sleep. He did not shave so he could look like that.
He could look like that.
Fucking dedication.
And then go and watch the thing with Solo when they put him through the table, dude. Like his reactions, and then the way he was like, "You are not my tribal chief," and dude, he's got like those are legit fucking tears coming down his face. Paul Heyman deserves a fucking Emmy. This motherfucker, this motherfucker's been on TV longer than most of these motherfuckers that are in shows. Yeah. That is a television character. Why is he not getting
a hell of a performance
for best performance in a TV show?
Fucking love it, man.
Please explain that to me.
Love it.
Because he had me, bro. I was watching it going, man, they're going to fuck Paul up. Dude, let's be honest. Paul going through a table, I don't give a fuck how safely you do it. That's a big dude. He had to get hurt. Now they're saying he's going to come back with a change in character. They're saying Roman, they'll be back at SummerSlam. We'll see. I noticed watching from the episode last, he's lost some weight. I'm kind of curious to see if Paul had some kind of lap band or surgery or something like that. He don't come back looking about 50, 60 pounds lighter.
They
Dude,
power bomb the ass off him. Is
dude,
what you're
he
saying?
is no longer just a manager or a backstage presence. Paul Heyman is his own fucking entity.
Yeah, it's hard to fight.
Yeah.
But we're already long in the tooth at over an hour here. I want to throw this one last thing out to you guys and see what
Come
you think
on,
about it.
ready to wrap this shit.
One last thing, just because it's not going to take long. So, my dad has been watching more recently. He's been getting back into really watching. And he had a great breakdown of the Wyatt Six this past week. My dad said, I would be surprised if we don't find out somewhere down the line that Bray knew Bo is the better wrestler, but he couldn't break out of his own mind. He couldn't get his own character. And the reason that they were setting this up, or he was setting this up, was to give his brother that platform. He goes, I think this was the full story the whole time. Bray was going to put Bo on display because Uncle Howdy was always the first one revealed.
Mm-hmm.
He said the way that this is going, the way that Bo is playing this, the way that these guys look, he said, I'm sold in, and I'm not 100% sure that this wasn't Bray's idea to elevate Bo. He goes, if this kid can wrestle, this is going to be way better than anything Bray's ever done.
Okay, well, one, he can. I mean, he can't keep a girlfriend because Liv Morgan and him broke up. So sorry, buddy, that sucks for you. Those characters that they're using, if you you guys watched the documentary, right? The Peacock thing, Brian. Yeah. Those are all the characters that Bray was working on and came up with prior to his death. So, I mean, yeah, this was all the plan. He had said he was ready to work with his brother again. And Bo can work, man. I mean, he can work. The guy's a former NXT champion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, did they fuck him with a couple of stupid gimmicks? Yeah. Can he make this work? I think so. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, we hit on this a few weeks ago, and I said the same thing.
Yeah.
This was Bray elevating some talent that wasn't really getting anywhere. Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Rowan's been in and out, of course. He has
his just Rowan bit fucking killed me on Raw.
Oh my god. Fuck, dude, I know, right?
That breaks my heart for that dude, man. Like, real. That wasn't.
No, that wasn't fake. That was some real fucking shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. So much of this shit is going to be real.
Yeah.
So much of this shit's going to be real like that. I mean, fuck, dude. Like, it's just like real, I thought it was the plan all along. He's going to elevate talent. Of course, it's his opportunity to work with his brother and let his brother not get stuck with some shitty gimmick, something that they can do, something in their wheelhouse as well, too, What, for people who don't think that he didn't have a hand in, some of the stuff that Bray was doing, I mean, come on.
He did.
As close as they were, yeah, he definitely did.
This isn't a Jeff Matt Hardy thing, man. Bray Wyatt was the big brother and was constantly talking about his little brother and anytime he was asked, he was, yes, I want to work with him. Definitely. I want him to come up. Yeah.
Yeah. So your dad hit it right on the head. It's exactly, I think, what was the case. This was the opportunity to help put his little brother up there, give him the opportunity, because Bray's going to be Bray, right? Yeah. Like, because we all stuck with Bray through the really good shit, through the kind of shit, the misses that we did. Like, we still stuck with Bray because every time he came back, everybody was excited again, right? Yeah. So we knew Bray was going to do what Bray does, and he was going to be great with it. But he was getting a platform to put his brother up.
Yeah.
But and I remember, the other ones, they were always kind of looped in there with this whole Wyatt Six group when Bray was still alive, and that was the plan. Yeah. So, I think he had that all along, and like I said before, a couple weeks ago, Anybody who says that, oh, they're shitting on his legacy and they're cashing in on it, no, they're doing exactly what Bray wanted to do.
Yeah.
And put this talent over and let them kind of get their moment to shine. That's what that's my opinion. That's my thought on it. But
hell yeah. Final words. Anybody got a final thing you want to throw out?
second half of the season, go Phils.
Fucking A. We'll fucking end on that. Fine. Go Phillies, man. They're fucking killing it. So
we were so close. We were so close to the 4-man infield at the All-Star game of all Phillies.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, this close. And I love the fact that Harper, I think it was Harper. Yeah, joked about, well, one of us is out on the beach today on break. But
I love how he loves the game, dude, because his whole interview during that whole thing, he just makes you feel like, fuck, this dude just loves the game.
He does, man. I hated Harper in Washington.
I did too.
Fucking despise him. He comes to Philly. I'm like, oh, all right, we got one of the fucking best players in the league. This is great. I'll give him a shot. And the way he just is like, yeah, I love this fucking city. I love the fucking vibe. I love the culture. I love this fucking game. This is the best city to play in. I'm like, okay, typical shit. But he spent the past few years fucking proving that.
He means it, yeah.
Yeah, I actually said when he signed with Philly, well, there goes Philly, because they're gonna, it just seemed like Washington, he was like the problem.
Yeah.
He's like this always flipping, that guy that he's always flipping his hair and fixing his bandana and that kind of shit and making the most money. And Washington, he leaves and Washington wins a series. But he obviously like Philly's home. I mean,
so
you can see what he's doing there. Yeah, for sure.
While we're winding down, Sean, tell me about how are those Cubs doing?
Sorry, bro. Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shootin' Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
Be sure to check us out on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@SHOOTINGSHT. Find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/SHOOTINSHT. Check us out on TikTok at SHOOTINSHIT. And you can buy your official Shootin' Shit shirt at www.ProWrestlingTees.com/SHOOTINSHT. And thanks for watching.